Boyfriend finds Christmas present cringe and a bit embarrassing and childish. My boyfriend, 25, finds my 24 present a bit embarrassing and cringe. What did I give him? Basically tickets for an MMA event that he's been wanting to go to for a long time. Plus a hotel in town that weekend plus a spa evening the day before. He thought the presentation of the present was terrible. I bought a larger box, lined it with black paper and basically split in two. On the left side were typical wellness essentials such as bath salts, face masks, mini towels, while on the left were typical martial arts items such as a small mouth guard, a boxing glove as a keychain, and now comes a small homemade MMA ring. Yes, the thing didn't turn out beautifully, but I still spent a really long time on it. The plan was for this box to contain clues to the present. Also in the box was a card saying what the exact gift was. At first he laughed and I didn't think anything dramatic. Then he looked very strange and said that the ring in particular was really ugly and very childish. As I said, I know that it's not particularly nice, but you don't have to say it like that, do you? I once gave my ex-boyfriend, 26, something I made myself as a gift and he thought it was really great, so his reaction hurt me a bit. I know, you don't compare people. I'm just interested in the reaction. I had some friends over a few days before who said that it was really sweet, even though the ring didn't turn out really nice. As I said, I put a lot of thought into the actual gift and I thought the gift was at least sweet. What can I do so that such words don't hurt me so much in the future? That was a bit of a downer for me. Update. Unfortunately, I'm in hospital, which is why I won't get the gift until Saturday, so I can't tell you what it was until Saturday. We've just talked about the relationship for a long time and in depth, and we both realized that there are a few things that we both need to work on. About the gift. He said that it was too much for him. He's not a materialistic person, he doesn't care about gifts or anything like that. Unfortunately, I can't cancel the hotel plus wellness, I would have to pay money for it that I don't have. He and I are now just going to the MMA event, and I'll do the rest on my own. That's the compromise, if you can call it that. Long story short, we're only doing the MMA event together, at a hotel on the weekend, and I'm doing the wellness alone. More about my present on Saturday. I'm 24, he's 25. Relevant comments. But that doesn't sound like a happy ending. In the end you back out and do everything on your own and he's right. O.P. I honestly don't know how else it could have been resolved. If he doesn't like it, then of course it's legitimate. Unfortunately, I don't have the money to cancel. I didn't know what to do next. Comment. Food for thought, it always takes two to compromise. You met him halfway and he did. He is not a materialistic person. Oh come on, I hate excuses like that. I am also a very rational and cold person and I am not happy about presents at all. Nevertheless, at the beginning of our relationship, a month before her birthday, I asked my wife in detail about what she wanted for her birthday and what I could do for her on that day. Because I am not stupid and ignorant and she is important to me. There are things that you as a non-materialistic person do not have to understand, like fob off with, that's my humor, that's how I am, etc. You just have to blunt them and take your other half's needs into consideration. I don't know why this lack of respect from your boyfriend triggers me so much. O.P. Thanks for the food for thought, there's definitely something to that. He would describe himself exactly the same way you describe yourself, except for the part about you doing it for your girlfriend's sake. He, obviously, doesn't do that at all in this case. Thanks for your words, that really helped me somehow. Comment. But it's not something material, it's an activity, and it's about being together. You should really let it all sink in and think about whether you can imagine something like this in the long term. You probably put so much effort into the gift and it ruined your joy. That won't be a one-off thing, it will happen again and again. You're still really young, you still have time to find someone who appreciates you and your wonderful efforts. OP. I understand that and see it exactly the same way. But it is too expensive and too much for him. That's why I'm asking about writing here, because I don't really know how to classify it on my own. I also said that I have to process it first, and when I said that I would shorten the gift, he just said, okay, fine. So I think it's better for him this way. Comment. But if it's too expensive and too much for him, it's even more wasteful to let you go alone. He wanted to go to the MMA thing, but others didn't. I know how expensive MMA events can be if you want good seats. If it was too much for him, he would have told you that you can sell the tickets or something similar, but he wants to go to the MMA thing because he's interested in it, but the good time with you is secondary. I think it's so wonderful how much thought you put into it, and it could well be that it was just too much for him, but that doesn't mean that he can't appreciate what you did and be happy that he's apparently so valuable to you. It's also about how he reacted and that he doesn't understand seeing your side at all. OP. I also said somewhere above that this change of opinion confused me a bit. From too embarrassing to too expensive. I couldn't and still can't follow that. He had given me a musical for my birthday with a hotel and everything else, so I went with that. I didn't think it was that dramatic whether it was €50 more or less. As I said, I went with that. If he had only given me a shirt, for example, I would have given something similar. About my girlfriend. I have a relatively easy job that pays me very well. She is a student and only has student loans. I have known her for years and therefore knew that she loves this festival. So that was okay for me, precisely because I have known her for ages and we are very different financially. I am generally very generous with everything, so I like to give something. Where that comes from, no idea. In my friendships it is also very balanced and has been for years. Where exactly the problem suddenly lies and why there is a change of opinion remains unclear to me. Comment. LOL, I'm really sorry, but it sounds like your boyfriend has already mentally broken up with you. I'm not a material person. He skips spending time together in a wellness hotel that can't be cancelled, but does the MMA thing that you could theoretically sell on, but it just doesn't make sense. Your boyfriend doesn't like you, he's taking advantage of you. Sorry for the harsh words. OP. I'll just take note. Thank you. Comment. Another food for thought, why are you chasing his approval so much? Imagine if a friend told you this story 1:1. What would you say to her? My take is, the guy doesn't like you very much and isn't interested in a weekend of wellness with you. He's interested in the MMA thing, but so that he doesn't have to be grateful for it or you might expect a similar attention, he's belittling your gift and acting as if it's an imposition. I went back to your original post and looked to see if it said anywhere how long you've been together. Unfortunately, it didn't say anywhere, but I'm assuming it's not much longer than a year. In my opinion, this sets the tone for the rest of your relationship, and if you let him do it, he'll know that you'll put up with a lot for his approval. He will always make you feel like you're not good enough, somehow embarrassing or cringe, and you will always accommodate him, accepting some kind of compromise that isn't one because you're the only one giving in, and you will feel worse and less worthless. You write about this affair as if it didn't happen to you at all, but to a third person. Not a word about your feelings. Don't you feel hurt? Don't you think it's shit to treat someone you supposedly love like that? Because she did something nice for you. Stay a little more with yourself and your feelings instead of focusing so much on trying to please him. Do you like being with such a pompous a-hole? Does it feel good to put up with such a tirade and a lazy compromise, just because you wanted to give him a nice present? Not really, right? OP. To be honest, I don't think my feelings play a big role. Why should they? It's about him and his gift. I think it's my responsibility to look for an alternative or something similar. You're actually right, We've been together